Okay, via live. Quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. Coming to you live from Deltona, Florida. Celebrating over 10 years plus. And still running. Who would have ever thought they would last this long? Lunch with no other than the dynamic duo themselves, Laz and Jack. Greetings, everybody. This is Laz, and Jack is currently missing in action. Looks like he just got into Discord, but I don't see him actually joining yet. And maybe he will, maybe he won't. I do know that he had posted in Discord that he had a couple of calls today during this time, but still didn't get anything that said he wasn't going to be here today. So with that, the show must go on, as many of you know. And of course, Hemnu from Morning Coffee with Hemnu. Is that what it's called? Morning Coffee with Hemnu? I gotta go look and get the proper name. Yes, Morning Coffee with Hemnu. Welcome to everybody joining us here today. And Giveaways, at least on my stream, are open. I still haven't seen them open on Jack's side. And again, I see he popped into the Discord. His green light went on, but still uh, nothing from Jack. So if you're looking to get streamer bundles, you can exclamation bundle me. If you're looking for a game key, exclamation I love free shit. And you'll get entered into both of those giveaways. And we do streamer bundles at the bottom and the top of the hour, and game key giveaways at the end of the show. And of course, if we get bits in throughout the show, depending on when we get to certain levels, we do giveaways, change the programming. Additionally, if you want your own mystery game key, you can go ahead and toss 300 bits my way, as Jack's not here. And I will go into the mystery grab bag and get you guys or gals your own mystery game key. So that's the fact, Jack, as it may be. But no Jack as of yet. Maybe he will be joining us. Maybe he won't be. But talk about some predictions and getting things right. Yeah, that's right, Stripes. Absolutely. That's the fact, Jack. Um, it's Monday, right here, inside and outside Shroud the Avatar. November 24th, 3 days away from Gobble Gobble Turkey Day and Release Day. Welcome to Release 144. Oh no, no, because you're going to be whelmed today with the information we have. But getting started, I just have to go here because uh, somebody called it. Somebody called it on Friday. Shall we go to the tape? Let's go to the tape. And every day. Next week is Thanksgiving as well. We'll be here for release day, but it will be a short week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday only next week. And then we will be taking a break for Thanksgiving. So make sure to mark that on your calendars. And of course, we'll be back with more on Monday with the release if it comes out on time, because
Yeah.
you just never know around here. Until then, I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
Yep, and that's right. You never know around here because can I call it or can I call it? Is you never know what it's going to be. So we have updates, we have excuses, we have some heavy face palming here because somebody please make it make sense, please. Just make it make sense, okay? Um, I don't understand. So without further ado, let's get to the official forum post first from Ravlox. 144 delayed for a day. Release deployment was scrubbed at the last minute this morning when we found that the Mac client build was not working as intended. The build will take at least 7 hours to complete, so it's better that we delay until tomorrow morning at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to deploy. In addition, please make it make sense. We are having some severe weather here, which has already dropped about 3 inches of rain on us. The storms are expected to continue to about 3 p.m. So between the two issues, we figured we would be safe and hold off. I will be in Discord tomorrow morning playing tunes, and chatting with the players while we update the server. If able, come by and hang out with us. Rav, I'm curious. Is the data center or is your computer out in the rain someplace where it might get wet doing this update? Um, uh, I mean, make it make sense. What does 3 inches of rain have to do with delaying a release? Rain should have no effect. Well, we're gonna get there, Morgan. We're gonna get there. You know, now I'm gonna laugh because now for a while I had problems with the rain because it would affect my internet connection. Um, I don't know. Maybe he has the same problems, but as far as I understand and what I'm reading here, it doesn't seem like he's doing a lot of that work either, which we will get to here in just a second as well. Is because let me jump over there and we're going to start with this one. So we're going to jump over to the Shroud of the Avatar Discord, and this is what is posted there. And this was at what time? 6 a.m. Central Time this morning. Just in case we are late to start with 144 updates, this would be why. And we get a picture of weather. Again, I don't understand what the satellite picture of the weather has to do with dealing with doing an update over the internet and going to the data centers. I mean, anybody hear anything through word of mouth that I haven't read here already? But as we scroll, I mean, here's the other great stuff is when will the ultra rares be sent out? When Ravlox finishes the tech on the doll cabinet. So we know that wasn't finished yet because it rained. I don't know. The rain get in the way with that. I understand that, Rustic, but that's people driving and the roads flooding. That should have no effect on and especially since this was Dallas. This wasn't, as you notice, this is Dallas. This isn't Austin. Um, you know, but that's because of the way everything is built there. That the roads flood and everybody just can't drive in the rain in Austin. That's yeah. But again, my question is that these ultra rares were supposed to be finished in the middle of the month and delivered shortly after the releases were patched up. And if I jump over to the patch notes from the previous release, the November 13th, the sales stopped. So that was a good 2+ weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Let's give it 2+, but just about 2 weeks ago. So we should have had it done by the time that happened. Just saying there. Let's see what we got. I think the implication was the rain would be an issue with driving to the data center. It appears he must go to the data center. No, because that would take him 4 hours to do, and the data center is in Austin, and he lives in Dallas. So that's a no. But I'll refute that here in just a moment when we get down here. And Alley Oop says, normally I'd schedule shutdown an hour from now, but I'm not going to yet. The Mac GM build is still running. I'd like to see that finish first, as if it fails, it'll be hours for a rebuild. I have not heard from Ravlox and he may be drowned. Which lets me think that Allie was actually the person watching and pushing and pulling strings behind here, getting that stuff done. One, of course, Hemnu with the Ravlox did not take a rowboat. And Allie says, I don't think he can row and deploy at the same time. And again, another picture with the comments, still breathing. But again, I don't quite get what the implications of rain are. Now, to top this all off, this was, okay, let me get to this here. Okay, folks, no server update for today. The Mac client build threw a fit, and it will be at least another 7 hours to complete. We are rescheduling for tomorrow at 8 a.m. Looks like it may be for the best. The storms are producing 3 to 4 inches of rain and continued, the whole line is going right over us, heading north by northeast. Again, don't really understand what that has to do with everything. It just, I just don't get it. But let's get to the point that, let me close this for right now. I may come back to this. Two things. A, we are supposed to go into lockdown 1 week before. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to jump over to our Discord here because we had some commentary early this morning. And this came from Rick Dahl. And thank you, Rick Dahl, because you're absolutely right. Beating a dead horse here, but doing a code freeze for building early would have addressed the build issues they were trying to do on launch day. Yes, we're supposed to be in lockdown a week before, so that would have been last Monday. And then RC or GC1 should have been built last Monday. GC standing for Gold Candidate 1 for release should have been built last Monday. So they should have had a heads up to this at least sometime earlier this past week because they're supposed to be in lockdown a week beforehand. A. B. We moved from the last Thursday of the month to the last Monday of the month because specifically this is what Ravlox said this was going to avoid. This was going to avoid having problems like this, and they would have the weekend and more time to do builds and get them out in a timely fashion. And then if something needed to be fixed or patched, then there would be the whole week to do it instead of having to rush through a Friday patch to try and get it out to fix it for the weekend players. But since said change has come into play, we have had more delays, more pauses, more messes up with the cadence of our releases since day one, since he's made this change. So how is that working out for you there, buddy? Really is again, definitely can't speak to the weather. That may truly be an issue down there, but there's no reason they should be trying to do a build on the same day you're trying to release it. Absolutely correct. Why are you doing builds early morning on the day you release? This should have been done Friday. This should have been in the bag Friday, by the latest Saturday, And yes, absolutely. Contra Dragon, don't the roads in Texas usually have drainage and side ditches for even larger amounts of rain? No. If you haven't been to Texas, Texas is pretty damn flat except for when you get to Austin, which is built on hills and craziness. And when it rains, it could be like a waterfall coming down the street with literally enough rain to wash a person away if they were standing on the sidewalk. I've seen it myself in person when I've been there. And Zealot, with so many opportunities to make excuses for not working, it's perfect. Yes. Again, uh, I make it make sense to me, please. I'm not even gonna go into. Oh man, this just kills me. I should, but without Jack, I'm not going to. I'm not even going to go into the excuses we get in the release notes. If anybody's already read the release notes, uh, yeah, Tina, driven there, can confirm, right? You remember the storms we saw while we were in Austin, man? They were just, it was ridiculous what happens when it rains coming down some of them streets. Almost enough to actually, you know, take your car and make it float away on some of them streets, and they're really narrow in certain places. You know, and even happens down here in Florida. You know, they build these retaining areas and stuff like that, but it's never enough, and they always wind up doing something to. Oh, we'll trade this out for that, and we'll fill this in with that, and then you wind up with flooding. I can tell you. I'll give you, matter of fact, let me pull this up here for you. Um, and I'll give you an idea of what I deal with. Now I'm going to open this up here. This is a weather map that I use for Deltona. And I'm going to put this over here and just give you a little idea. Okay, so because I've done this so many times, this is Deltona, where I live in Florida. A little blip on the map, but this map is so great it allows me to zoom in, and I know exactly where I am in this area. I'm right in this little area, pocket of lakes right here. Okay, this beautiful pocket of lakes that surrounds my home. Now, what you'll notice is that there's a road that comes through here that goes through and is surrounded by these lakes called El Cam Boulevard. And then down over here, where's the other one? But this is just one thin road here, and when it rains, these lakes overflow. And you know what happens when these lakes overflow? They overflow right into the road and they make one big lake. And then there's another way around, which, you know, we'd have to come all the way around here and come out over here in Newmark. And guess what happens over here when these two lakes overflow? This lake actually overflows into these homes, and this lake overflows in these homes and causes flooding on this road. Okay, but this one is the worst up here at El Cam because it gets so bad that, you know, there's nothing here except lakes coming across the road, and especially right over here, and especially right over here. I mean, these lakes are high throughout the year, but yeah, when we get the big rains, especially hurricanes, these lakes fill up real quick, and they start overflowing, and then our roads close because there ain't much. You know, but again, doesn't affect my internet traffic. Doesn't affect the other stuff, which again, you know, you would think the drainage was the first thing planned, but yeah, again, is you know, they plan it for like the big interstates, and they plan it for these communities that they build. But again, what they do in these communities is they build these retention ponds and these retention areas, and they put them along the side of the road. But there's a problem. And you've probably all driven someplace in the suburbs or in the countryside where you're driving down the road and you'll see, these ditches along the side of the road, and they've got a big iron tube that goes through people's driveways so that the water flows between the two places evenly. Well, a lot of times that stuff gets all plugged up with debris, gunk, dirt, and, other stuff, and nobody ever comes along to clean it. So it just creates a big mess. But again, I heard that a toilet overflowed in Cambodia, so the release will be delayed just in case. Yeah, but again, I don't comprehend what the weather has to do with the release being delayed. So, was there other stuff in here that I wanted to talk about? Let me go take a look. Let me just scroll down a little bit more here. No server update.
Tonight.
What's up, Steve?
Is Jack not on tonight?
No, Jack is missing in action as of right now. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Jack has 5 minutes before, or 4 minutes until his next conference call.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So how's the stream going today?
Yeah, it's going. Somebody should really book his lunch break and tell people, I have a lunch break, I have a life, but it is what it is.
People can't figure out how to do conversions of time zones for some odd reason.
Sure, you just put it in during that time and they should see it in their time, no? Isn't that what the calendars apps are for?
Do you
They've
think
not got
they
a brain to
pay
figure
any
it out.
attention to someone else's calendar? That answer is no.
So yes, very, very well today. If you haven't gotten the gist of what's going on already.
Well, I knew it before. Before you were awake.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So whelming that you get to wait another day.
Yeah. So, any thoughts on why a rainstorm would hinder progress of
it wasn't just the rainstorm. Mac wasn't working or something, so it wasn't ready.
Yeah, Steve, we've already covered that. The fact that we're supposed to be in lockdown last Monday, the gold candidate should have been done by Tuesday, and if anything, the final candidate should have been done by Friday, Saturday, the latest. They shouldn't have been building at 6 o'clock this morning. It should have all been in the bag and ready just to deploy this morning. First off, second off. We made the change, I'm going to reiterate, from the last Thursday of the month to the last Monday of the month to avoid this exact scenario because it would give them more time to not fuck things up like he did again for the most part, and that there's been more breaks in cadence since he made that change than we had in the history of the releases of the game. There.
Precisely.
Yeah. Well, as we've said multiple times, his Shroud math doesn't math. Moving it from last Thursday to last Monday. It's the same amount of development time. You're not gaining an additional week other than one time. And it's not even an additional week. It's an additional 2 days. Then
I don't even consider
that one time, well, it's 2 business days, Friday, Monday.
Yeah.
Or you could say one complete business day.
That's what I'm saying. It was one day, if that.
Then the other thing is that doing it on Monday, which he tried to also say was an industry standard,
which we proved
which
wrong.
It's not. Yes, because one, that would require you to have all those builds done either over by Friday or over the entire weekend.
Again, the gold candidate should have been done by
By
Tuesday of
Friday.
last week.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
very first gold candidate release should have been done Tuesday, the day after lockdown, because that's why we lock it down. And then we do builds and we test to see if it's working. So you have that whole week to debug and figure out where you may have problems in your production release. And apparently that is not the case going on here, because you were building the Mac client at 6 o'clock this morning still, when
Yeah.
it should have already been in the bag and it should have just been ready to press the button to upload it and be done. So, yeah.
Hey, did you even cover the bullshit about the server updates?
Oh no, we're gonna save that for release day, when release actually comes in, because yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking about excuses, and I really want you to be here to have fun with the excuses with me. So
Oh,
since I
yeah.
know you had the calls today, but I figured you'd at least be sitting there on camera, even if you had calls. But
No, well, yeah. I mean, I've got to talk in all of these. So,
yeah,
if I was just a passive one, then it would be easier to sit there and stare. But not
understood,
even
understood.
attempting to put in earbuds today. Okay, but
Yeah.
I got to go get on this other call. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. If you get a chance, pop back in. But yes, as you all heard, this should have been a lock by Friday. No need for anybody to be sitting around waiting for a build 6 o'clock this morning, Central Time, and going, well, it may go, and then, okay, of course, blaming it on the rain. You know,
It's what's called a cluster something. I can't remember the second part of that.
what's that?
It's what's called a cluster something. I can't remember what the second
Oh,
part of that is.
a clusterfuck? You can say that. We have no problem saying that. Unless you have children around, you just don't want to say that around your children, then I can understand. But got to remember, this is a NSFW, not sufficient, not suitable for work channel, and we don't care about getting censored for those dirty words that most people avoid, because we're not making the money that way, because they refuse to monetize people who do that. So we make our
I'm more
money
concerned.
from you guys.
More concerned someone watching and then banning me from the game.
Oh well, if you're not in the game, you can't really get Fuster Cluck. There you go. No, I mean you can say it. I mean we got people. Before we do that, let me stop what I'm doing, and they would never do that. Let me
I'm just
stop
chicken
and
shit.
let me stop and pull a streamer bundle for the bottom of the hour before we move on and continue on. And let's see who that winner is going to be at the bottom of the hour. And that's going to be Noob Skyblabber. Noob Skyblabber. Congratulations. You are the winner of a shiny new streamer bundle. As I get this out to you. Okay, open my bundles. Toss that in there. You are a winner. And bada bing. All right, that part of the housekeeping is done. And then, to top it all off, you're welcome, noob. To top it all off, apparently we lost another player yesterday. Thorin Strongarm posted that he's just fed up. He's done with it. he can't put up with this crap no more, and he's taking his ball and going home because just the way things work, the RNG, the this, the that, the other thing. I'm not going to go into it, and sorry to see you go, Thorin, but he's one of our regulars, and when you see people like that who are finally again going, you know what, I'm just done with it, you know.
I sent him some fishing jewelry, but and left a note on your stream, but
Yeah,
whether he comes back,
I
I'm
saw
not sure.
that, and that was mighty nice of you for doing that, but might be too little, too late. I didn't see a reply from him as to whether that was an issue or not, whether he had the proper um, equipment and rings and buffs and stuff like that. But I could definitely feel his pain and everything he wrote. Uh, again, let's see. Sentinel says, I don't blame him. I gave up and stopped all my subs months ago. Yes, you and loads and loads of other people. And it just seems like, again, it's one thing after another. Let's bring it back up one more time because it's always worth not authorized access that page. What are you talking about? This is really, what
Oh, you're
it's all,
doing Jack's bit.
yeah, this is what it's really all about. New players and how it's just nosedived consistently, down to so far
Well,
this
that's a big
month.
nosedive in where is it? November
Yeah,
2020.
that was the crash. That was the catastrophic crash where there was no server for 2 weeks. That's what that big drop was. So there
I
wa-
had a
there
feeling.
there was no data during this point. With actually it had 34 new players for that, but as of this point of time, towards the end of the month, it says 164 new players this month, down from 241 last month, which was up from 210 the month before. But that's just new characters being created. That's not actually uh, retention. It's not actually real numbers, but that's just and then of course you have
They
the
don't
player.
show real numbers.
Yeah, then you have the player activity, which gives you more detailed stats. But yeah, I don't know if I trust this really at all. I don't know if I trust any of this API data anymore, except for the fact that this is pretty much a straight line, even with the ups and downs that are just constantly taking the nosedive, um, down to next to nothing. I mean, yeah. Let's see. About this time last year, let's see, 24. Let's see, 10, 11. So this time last year was 262 players. This year, it's down to 164. Off by 100 plus players per month. Year to date, which yeah. I wasn't around during the Great Crash. Did they indicate they put in any changes to prevent whatever caused that crash from happening again? No. It was it was an update, and they had a singular backup one, and when they tried, they didn't even have a redundant backup that we understand. Again, I could be wrong, but when they were trying to do a monthly update, they trashed the data files. And what happened was that their singular backup happened to be like 2 weeks old. They didn't even do a backup apparently before they did the update. So like this morning, there should have been a backup of, a snapshot of what was going on. And during that crash, we lost about 2.5 weeks worth of data because the most recent backup they had was 2.5 weeks, in the past instead of having one from the day they were trying to update. So, that being said, that's what that was. But as far as excuses, well, I really don't want to spoil it. So if you really want a heads up, you can go ahead and read the release notes ahead of our show tomorrow because we're gonna pick that apart with a fine-tooth comb, as it may be. Because yeah, you're gonna be stunned, you're gonna be overwhelmed, you're gonna be face palming like nobody's business. Because I just can't put any credence in anything that's coming out of the offices these days. And I use the word offices loosely because, here we are weeks and weeks later, and we still haven't seen what we're told was going to happen years and years and years ago. So, but we are getting promises of said updates. And again, I'm going to make y'all wait till tomorrow to get all that stuff because it's going to be good. That's all I'm going to say. I've always wondered if Amazon had a hand in that crash. New World came out pretty close to it. Selenia, I don't think that really had anything to do with it. I think it was, more promises. Sigh. I think by that time they had migrated most of this stuff off of AWS support. Don't quote me on that. I know that around that time they were migrating away from a lot of that stuff. And again, tomorrow you're going to get some updates as to some other stuff, and I'm going to hope that Katumi's is going to be around tomorrow to maybe give us his insight as to what we're reading, what they're referencing, and all that fun stuff. But again, I think you guys are going to get some really good chuckles out of some of the stuff that we're going to tell you, we're going to talk about, and all that fun stuff. Again, I don't want to spoil tomorrow's show because we're going to have some fun with it. But meanwhile, let's see. I don't know. New World was so damn close to the game. It seemed like they got a lot of ideas from Shroud. Yeah, well, you know what's happening to New World, right? New World's going bye-bye already. New World's closing down. They've pulled the plug on New World, so everybody
Yeah,
who
I was
spent...
thinking of moving over there.
Oh, yeah, no. If you all haven't heard this one yet, I guess I should tell you all about that if you haven't been up on the news. Hang on, here we go.
I only follow your rules for that matter.
Excuse me. Okay, well, apparently
Oh, you got his cough as well.
there is an addendum to this. So, let me see here. I don't want the video. I just want okay, let's just throw this up here. The video game New World Eternium is not being shut down completely, but development of new content is ending with Season 10 and the Nighthaven update. The game servers will remain active through 2026, and players can continue to play existing content. There will be no new expansions or major updates after October 2025. Decision was announced late in October following significant layoffs at Amazon, and they're ending development. Yeah. But again, they say one thing, but here's the kicker right there. Servers remain active through the end of 2026. And then that's it. Okay, that's the key takeaway is the servers
I'd walk away straight away myself if that was the
yeah,
case.
and again is as of now, there's no, hey, we're going to add this, we're going to add that. Development has come to a complete and final stop as of last month. And that's it. No more updates. Whatever it is, it is. And
not even just keep the server running for people to play on it indefinitely.
no, apparently, till the end of 2026 is where it says it's going to be going away. So, So, New World's life wasn't even half of that of Shrouded Avatar. It came, it went, and it's going to die a slow, crushing death because even Amazon, with its billions and billions of dollars and hundreds of developers, can't seem to keep a game running. And then there's all sorts of, other topics and stuff like that. But, isn't closing New World right away, but, it doesn't guarantee its life past 2026. So if anybody's got their investments, I mean, I bought it, I played it. I didn't care for it as much as I thought I would, and I never put that much time nor energy into the game. So I really don't feel that bad. I do feel bad that it was $100 AAA game that's no longer going to be, worth the $100 I paid for it. At least, if you wanted to keep the servers online or, just keep it running in perpetuity, that at least people can get enjoyment out of it. But even Amazon says not going to happen. Yeah, Selenia, haven't seen Bridge Troll around in a long time. So if you do speak to him, tell him I said hey, and you should come on over and say hello and actually give us his feedback on that and what his take is now that his new favorite game is shutting its doors.
Maybe I'll come back.
No, he's not allowed back. Can't get into all that. There's stuff we're just not allowed to talk about. So publicly, because rules. Yes, not allowed back. In essence, yes, he was banned, and that's all I can say on that. Can't say
Before
why.
my
Can't
time.
go into Can't go into reasons. Can't go into anything else. But let's just say that they had they agreed to disagree on certain things, and that's the way things are. If you want to know more, you either need to talk to him, or you're going to need to talk to him because I can't divulge what I know about it, and nobody else can divulge it except for him. So, but yes, and I miss him. He was a good player. thankfully, I was able to make some deals with him before he left and got myself a nice piece of property in Owl's Head that I've been looking to get my hands on, and made a deal before said events happened. But anyway, moving right along. Deb says, I am mobile phone and headset. If I win the drawing, I may be driving and not. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about it, Debs. If you win, I don't need you to be around to verify it. I don't even need you to be here. And the only reason why I believe Hemnu has that stipulation right now is because he doesn't have everybody's alts and character names and Twitch names all memorized and stuff yet. So it makes it easier for him to do his giveaways that way. So. But meanwhile, speaking of giveaways, we're a little bit a ways from that. Let me see if I've got something that will cover. I really don't want to get into this whole mess here because that's too long to read right now. So let's try this one because I really off the beaten path. Is this a wish list item? This is just a general discussion item. Bergen was wondering if there was a tag merchant for entrails. Now, I don't know what entrails have as their price, but yeah, he wants to know, are there any merchants that will buy entrails at tag value? Morgan says, never found one, and I think I asked all of them. Yeah, it was pretty sure there was no tag merchant for entrails. I really dislike the whole tag merchant thing. I feel that all merchants should simply pay tag value, which is already a fraction of what they will sell you the items for.
I always sell to the nearest merchant, period. I don't care what the tag price is. Time it takes to find them, I could have gone and earned some more gold off of a breach boss.
Well, you got a point there. Is certain things are worth it, other things aren't. But for the most point, yeah, I mean, I think they could have done a better job with that because they do take and put
40 gold
durability.
for entrails, that's quite expensive.
What's that?
40 gold is the ticket price.
40 gold
On one
is the sale
entrail.
price or the tag price?
That's like the price it shows when you got it in your inventory.
Okay. So I could see why somebody would want that, because if you have a crap ton of them, that would be a great way to make some gold. And I don't know, let's see, entrails. I don't know if I have any in my stockpile. Let me just run over here to my...
Got 1,307, worth 52,280.
Right, so when you go to sell one, what do they actually offer you?
Oh, hang on, give me a moment.
Yeah, that's the question. That is the question.
Just running to the nearest merchant to flog up
Yeah.
whatever price they give me.
Yeah, I've got, oops.
Should be 32. Yeah, 32.
That's still not bad.
Well, it's always 20% off the tag price.
Well, mine says, well, let's see. I'm going to take all the ones that I have here. And I'm just going to go over to our good friend Theo, because Theo is one of the best tag merchants in the game, but only for certain items. And let's do.
Yeah, I really run the nearest merchant to my properties. I'm not going to waste my time looking for someone who pays a little bit more.
Oh yeah, it says 32. Yeah, it says 32 plus. In my inventory, it says I should get 1480 for them. So when I go to sell that to him, let's see what the final price is comparatively. 1,184 for the 37 that I have. So, yeah, still not bad. I mean, when you think about it. I mean, that's only 37 of them, and I'm still making almost 1,200 gold pieces, for, less than 40. But I could see wanting to capitalize on it. I mean, that would make sense, but yeah. So anyway, let's get back over to the lot here. I don't need to be looking at that when I can be back over here. But Conjure Dragon says, it makes both in-game and real-world sense. Merchants pay different prices. The merchants buy 50% of value and sell at 200% value. That's not right. That's not even close to true. And even if it's in paper manual of the game, the only baseline vendor is making a huge profit from players not bothering to search or to specialized merchants. Blacksmiths usually give 80%, but that is how it ought to be. Yeah. Well, the idea behind the tag merchant conjurer is he pays 100%. That's what the tag merchant is they pay the full value that it shows in your inventory. Other games use different mechanics. I'd welcome it far more if the butcher and the back alley, Brittany alleys would pay more for entrails and stuff. The sausage he sells, then in every year the merchant pays tag value, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That kind of detail is great for CRPG, but not in an MMO, especially the way it's implemented here. It adds nothing to the game. In fact, it's just an unnecessary hindrance. And hey, I literally came across that like 10 seconds before I came to this thread, and it struck me funny. Now, out of curiosity, what is the price in the BMC price guide? Do we even have entrails? Tina, is entrails actually something that we have? Tina might know. Looted items. Gathered items. Let's just do a search. No, I don't see it as an item. That milling, smelting.
Something off with middle downs.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it anywhere in the price guide, so we don't even offer up a price. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Sure. The BMC price for entrails currently, at least last I see, was 50 gold, which is 10 gold more than your normal base price for it in game. So, if you're looking for somebody, maybe you want to go talk to somebody. Yeah, it doesn't, based on supply, exactly, which means the supply or the demand is a little higher than most people would think. But I agree with you, Steve, is a lot of times it's just a lot easier to run the nearest vendor, dump it, and get back out there and, do more because you can just do it quicker instead of, trying to bounce around to all these other merchants.
Just to make a few extra coins, unless you're
Yeah.
dealing in quantities of 30,000 of the item, I really wouldn't bother.
And meantime, we're going to pull our last and final giveaways of the day because it is that time of the day. Get out of here. And Tina O'Neill, congratulations. You are getting the final streamer bundle. And we get that to you. And then we're going to pull our game key wiener. And hopefully we'll actually have a release tomorrow, keeping our fingers crossed. Because it won't surprise me if we get an excuse about it's raining still, and we can't do anything because of the rain. But Morgan, you're gonna get yourself a copy of, what are you gonna get? As the page refreshes and we go to the mystery game keys, and you're gonna get a copy of Deflector on Steam. And Deflector Steam. And Deflector is a $20 game going out to Morkin. Top-down action rogue-like set in a deadly micro... I can't even pronounce that. Microskim. But $20 game nonetheless going out to Morkin. An update, minor drizzle, that's right. But we'll be back with more tomorrow, right here on NBNN, with release notes and excuses, just for your entertainment, right here on NBNN. Till then, I'm Laz. Jack's not here. Lomir's not here. Nobody else is here.
I'm here. It's me, Steve.
And that's Steve. And this is
Sorry,
NBNN.
I've got an issue with middle downs. I'm trying to figure it out.
Have a great day, everybody.
Test it.
We'll see you all tomorrow.